Okay, today we're going to be talking about different driving conditions, um, mainly looking at hydroplaning, loss of traction, rain, possible snow on the road, and really looking at water, high water, different things like that today in this lesson. First off, like you're saying, what is hydroplaning? I've never really heard that word before. You might have heard of it, just don't know what it means. Basically, that's skating across a wet road after the tires lose contact with the road. So it could be as little as like 1/8 of an inch, a very small amount. Could lift those tires up and you could lose control. You can't steer and you just slide. It's like being on ice. When is it okay to hydroplane? I have a couple videos here. We're not going to watch them today right here, but basically a guy taking a snowmobile on a lake in the summer. And as long as it keeps the speed up, again, when you hydroplane is when you have higher speed, and that speed will then get you into a plane situation, which is a good thing if you're like water skiing. I think that's what this video is about, and so forth, but not a good idea if you're driving and you want to be able to stop and so forth. How does hydroplaning happen? Well, hydroplaning occurs when a thin sheet of water, okay, you can see a thin sheet of water here, gets between the road surface and the tire. Okay, just a small little bit. It actually builds up through the traction area. That's why it's important to have good traction. And it builds up and you basically ride on top of that water. Again, it can start as low as 30 miles an hour. So below that, it can't happen because you have to have that speed factor in there. And like I said before, 1/8 of an inch or 3 millimeters is all the amount of water you need on the road. Now, there is a famous football player from the Eagles called Jerome Brown. And what happened to him is basically he took a 12-year-old relative out, and they were going very fast on the highway. I think he was in a sports car, Corvette, and basically lost control, flipped his car multiple times, and both him and the relative were hurt. So it's definitely were killed, and here's his father at his grave, and he was a big football player back in the 90s, and he lost his life to hydroplaning and not understanding and respecting the roads when they're wet. Also, some other things that could be a focus would be leaves on the road, like a back road like this. Can get a lot of leaves, especially in the fall, and they can get on the road, and actually they act like little carpets, that just sort of fly out from under you, and you just can't stop as quickly, and you can skid. So you have to be very aware of that, especially if there's some moisture underneath those leaves. So just take it a little slower when you see wet leaves. How to handle hydroplaning: keep both hands on the wheel, steer the vehicle forward if possible. So always aim where you want to go, keep your eyes on where you want to go, and keep steering. If you do feel the back end of your car skidding out, that you keep steering the way you want to go and try to lower that speed. And that's the part of easing off the accelerator. Do not slam on the brakes. When you slam on the brakes when you're hydroplaning, you could then all of a sudden catch, and it could just put you into some donuts or definitely some major skidding. Without interlock, you should use like the threshold method, okay, and release the pressure. Anti-lock brakes, you just keep constant pressure on the brakes and steer in the direction you want to go. Big part of it also is tire tread. If you don't have very good tire tread like this guy has, this is considered a bald tire because there's no tread at any point in two areas there, and that water just builds up here, and that's what would have you hydroplane. So again, having good tread on your tires prevents hydroplaning. Also, many times people don't know that they have worn tires, and one way you can actually tell that is by using a penny and trying to put any part of the tread. Okay, thanks for listening.